This is a proven launch campaign that's worked time and time again. Whenever I'm working with clients, we install this and we sell out all the spaces in their coaching program. So if you have the kind of program which opens and closes, maybe you've got a cohorted program like one of our students who has a certification program, or you've got a coaching program, something like that. Use this methodology. I call it the Black Widow, very dramatic title, and it works so well for filling up coaching experiences or anything which is cohorted. Let's get into this. Hey, great to see you. It's Kennedy. I'm so pleased that you're here. So if you've got a cohorted program where you welcome people in and you shut down access because you need to maybe deliver it in cohorts in specific orders and stuff like that, you want people joining a particular point, you're going to get a lot out of this, because this is what I call the Black Widow campaign, which is responsible for filling up many coaching programs. But it's a coaching program, maybe a certification program, something like that. And it basically comes down to two different moments. It comes down to two major points. The first piece of the puzzle, if you're watching this, you'll be able to follow along with my doodles as well. The first part is when they first join your email list. What is the experience when this new person, whoever they are, wherever they came from, whatever time of day, whatever day of night, whatever time of day, whatever day of the week it happens to be, whatever the season, what is it they first get when they first join your email list? What a lot of people get wrong at that point is they use the old-fashioned email marketing strategy of, oh, we should nurture people, we should take care of them, we should obviously want to take care of people, right? But we just don't want to disengage them by giving them just a load of nurture content when they first join, because actually the reason someone's joined your email list is because they've got a problem and they really want your help with it. I'm not going to go into massive detail, but basically they're going to join your email list and they're going to go through what we call the automated email engine. The reason I'm not going to go through it in detail in this video is I've talked about it elsewhere, but I've also just finished a brand new mini course where I walk you through all of the elements of that and how to actually do it in detail, and you can get access to it completely for free as a viewer of this channel. And here's what's really cool. This is the exact email engine system that we use to take the sales of one of our offers from just over $27,000 to more than $500,000. And that was the same offer to the same audience. We just used this totally different way of doing email marketing called the automated email engine, and we took it from 27 grand to over $500,000, which is more than a 1,800% increase in sales of the same offer at the same audience. So I think it's the most amazing thing ever. So you can access it by clicking the link that's in the description of this or using the QR code that's on screen, and you get it completely for free for being a subscriber, a viewer, a listener, a person in this world. So that's the first thing we're going to do, is we're going to have them go through this email engine. And the reason we want to do that is so that no matter what time of day, no matter what season it is, even if you're not in launch, that's the most important bit. If you're not in launch right now, if someone joins your email list, are they just going to join your list and just sort of float about? They came to your list thinking, oh my gosh, I need your help with something. They joined your list and it's kind of tumbleweed. It's kind of not that exciting. It might be this or that, a little bit of content, but it doesn't really get them excited. We want to make sure at that point when we have most of their attention, which is when someone's just joined your email list, you've got most of their attention, more than you'll ever have in future. You want to do something and set up the relationship at that point and potentially even convert them, which is what we do with that automated email engine. So we've got that part set up. The next thing that's going to happen is what we actually do during when it's time to open up the launch. And this is time for the launch. And we're going to do two different things. The first part is we are going to build up what I call the bed, right? So before we just say, hey, cart's open, you can enroll in my coaching program. And I do this with courses, I do this with mini courses, I do this with my mastermind whenever I open up the registration for some new spots in that, which is very rarely, but every now and again I do open some places inside of my director's room mastermind, and I do the same thing every time, and it's using this thing called the bed. And the bed is a series of emails that you send out. It could be one email, it could be 3 emails, it could be a week of emails, which all set up the beliefs, that's what the B in bed stand for, the evidence, that's the E, and the desire, needed for somebody to want to enroll in your program. One of the big problems, the big mistakes that I see people make, and when I'm being the launch strategist behind some of these big launches, I see that someone's basically just going straight for the jugular. They're like, nice and gentle, here's some content, and then suddenly, hey, we're opening enrollment, and people are like, whoa, okay, they're like getting whiplash from someone hitting the gas really, really quickly, and we want to make sure that people are in the right frame of mind. We've started to almost like move the camera lens in their mind to start thinking about the topic of your launch. So we're going to send bed emails, beliefs, evidence, and desire emails, and I can go into much more detail about what they are in another video in the future, but needless to say, if you just took that information, you could go and do it. And then we're going to go into what I call the Black Widow launch. And so the way we do that, and this is what's really nice about the Black Widow effect, is that it really looks for the people who are most engaged and gives them a slightly more intense experience so that you don't annoy and upset and disengage the vast majority of your list, basically the ones who are not engaged. So the way the Black Widow works is you begin with the phase 1 of the Black Widow, which is sending people some generic information about the launch, right? So it's some nice, gentle, maybe one email a day, maybe with a gap every now and again. We'll put a gap in there, and then another email. And all you're doing is telling people that you've got your program and it's going to be opening up and here's some information. So those emails are all linking to basically the same call to action, which is an information page. On that information page, you're generally going to have the ability to sign up or the ability to sign up for a waitlist, okay? But the important thing is there's somewhere for them to click. Every single one of these phase 1 emails needs to have the ability to click. And each of those emails is going to talk about a different type of problem or a different type of challenge that a person's having who would be the ideal client for your program. Okay, so each of those are going to be dealing with and really approaching one of those different problems or things that they're dealing with. When they click on the link, what's going to happen is, yes, they are going to see, what they're going to see is they're going to go to a page with some information. The simplest one I've ever done, they just went to a landing page which said program name, enrollment opening in, and then it had like a countdown timer on, just to create a little bit of anticipation. That was the simplest version of this. But what's really interesting is anyone who clicks one of those links is put into the phase number 2 emails. So a person who has engaged, they've shown us, oh, I'm interested in that topic. They've sort of been walking down the street, you pass a shop window, and you see something that takes your fancy. You stop and you look into the shop window and go, oh, that looks interesting. That's what this person's done. This person has stopped and looked at the shop window. They haven't gone in the shop, they haven't bought anything, they haven't done much at all, but they've stopped and they've given you some attention. They've said, that's enough interest, that's of enough interest to me for me to stop and take a little look. So we've now got phase 2. Phase 2 is now going to be a bunch of conversion communication which says, hey, you should enroll. Hey, we've got this many places left. Hey, this is a price plan. Here's a payment plan. Here's the price. Here's the details. Here's the information. So phase 2 is the sales phase. So what's now going to happen, and this is when it gets really interesting, is you're going to have some people who are going to receive the first email, which is the phase 1 email. Hey, I've got some information for you. Go and check out this page. They've clicked. And they're going to now be in the phase 2, where they're going to be getting the sales emails. But you're going to have a whole bunch of other people who did not click on anything in that phase 1 email. And they're not going to click on the second one or the third one. And they're still, by the end of, let's say you had 6 days of emails or 7 days of emails in the phase 1, at the end, you're going to have some people, you're going to have group A, who are the excited, interested people who've clicked a link and they have gone now and started receiving the conversion sales emails. But you're going to have a bigger group of people who have still not clicked or engaged. What do we do with them at the end point of that first phase? What we do is we put them all into the phase 2 emails anyway, right? So everybody ends up in the phase 2 emails. The only thing that happens is people who engage in phase 1, they immediately skip the rest of phase 1 and jump straight into phase 2. Okay, so let's just make it really one more time because I want you to have all of the pieces of this. So you're essentially going to have, let's say we only had, just for the sake of speed, 4 emails in phase 1. Okay, and we'll call this the interest phase. Okay, so you're going to have a person, you're going to start emailing them, they're going to get those emails. We're then going to have another automation, another workflow, which is going to be called the conversion or sales phase. And again, let's just say for the ease of just talking through it, let's say there are 4 of those. But again, these numbers can be different depending on how long your launch needs to be or you would like your launch to be. And this person, they get email number 1 and they don't do anything about it. They go, okay, that's kind of interesting. Or they don't open it that day because they're out and about, they're with family, they're doing whatever. Email number 2, oh, they've opened that email, but they haven't clicked on anything. Okay, it's not anything. Email number 3, they open that one and they also click a link. They don't get the 4th email in the interest phase. They jump straight from 3rd email. The next email they get is going to be conversion email A, and then they're going to get conversion email B, and so on until they convert. This is what we call the Black Widow, because in the end, every single person ends up through the conversion sequence. It's just that the interested people jump to the conversion sequence faster, and that accelerates the sales. That's what we do. Hopefully you can see how that's going to work for you. It works really, really well because the first phase acts as a way of warming up the list, warming up the interest, and getting people excited. And then that second phase turns into those all-important registrations, applications, and sales coming in. And it doesn't just work for your higher ticket offers. This can also work really, really well. I've seen it time and time again, working really, really well for lower ticket courses and on-demand things as well. You can even automate the whole thing if you really want to. Hopefully you found this interesting. If you did, make sure you hit subscribe so you get alert when the next video like this drops. I'm still figuring out whether you guys want more sort of content like this, which is like very strategic, specific email campaigns that you can run to make more sales in your coaching business, more sales of your online courses, your memberships, and your done for you services. If you like this, let me know that you want more of this kind of stuff in the comments. That means I'll make more stuff like this, and it's always really good to know. And yeah, that's it for this week. I'll see you in the next video next week. See ya.